Yeah, we are live. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hi, Shai here. So I would be in the back end doing the back end stuff. Yeah, Judith, over to you. Good evening.
Okay, thank you so much, Aisha. Okay, so we are live already.
Yeah,
Good evening, everyone. Good evening from Nigeria. So I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so you're welcome to this workshop. So my name is Judith Chua, and I'm the new lead of the design club here at Web3 Ladies Community. And I have with me here Fatima Umi. Thank you so much for joining. So we're going to be learning a lot today, and I'm excited about that. So okay, so if you are joining us from YouTube, you can kindly introduce yourself and tell us where you are joining in from as well. Okay, so for those who are just joining in newly, this is Web3 Ladies Community. So we are a Web3 community in Africa, and our aim is to empower ladies in the Web3 space. So we empower them with the relevant blockchain skills that they need to succeed in the Web3 space. So I'm excited about today's workshop. Yes, and even concerning the topic, because I've really been curious to know more. Yes, about our role as designers in the Web3 space. So I'm a product designer and also an open source contributor as well. So I'm excited to learn more and to hear what Fatima has to say today. So I'll just pass the mic across to Fatima to kindly introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your background, the Web3 space, and then you can go from there. Thank you.
GM everyone, hi. My name is Fatima Omi, as Judith have said. I am a product designer. I'm a full stack product designer. I'm passionate about growth design, and I work at the intersection of the design and business impact, combining excellent business results, combining excellent UX with excellent business. What am I saying? I'm confused. Oh my God, combining exceptional experiences with excellent business results. Let me put it that way. So when I'm not building a own chain, when I'm not building an chain, I am working on a startup idea that will help deaf and hard of hearing community to access digital content. I currently work with Web3D Media as product lead, where we build decentralized applications for creators in the new web, and we also help crypto projects build decentralized applications. Thank you, Judith.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for a lovely introduction. Yes. So I'm excited about the topic for today, designing for Web3 and with a focus on dApps. So a lot of people, a lot of designers who are even just, coming into the Web3 space are quite curious as to, okay, what are dApps, and then, what does it entail? What is the opportunity there? And the challenges, of course, we know that there are challenges as well, right, in decentralized applications too. So okay, just kindly, do your thing, educate us more on this.
All right. Let me try to share my screen.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's coming up. Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about Web3 design, majorly designing decentralized applications, the unique design challenges and the opportunities in designing dApps. So I've already introduced myself. I'm currently leading products at Web3D Media. You can always reach me on LinkedIn or X at Umi UX or Fatima Umi Abdulkader. You can find me. Then the main things we are going to be talking about today, we are going to be talking about introduction to Web3 and dApps. We are going to be talking about the key design principles for designing dApps. Then we are going to talk about challenges in designing dApps and opportunities for growth for designers in Web3 design space. Then if there are questions, we are going to be doing a QA if there is an opportunity and time, if time permits. So why are we talking about Web3 and dApps? I want to assume that we are not all beginners, or there are beginners amongst us. So to fulfill all righteousness, we'll go over what is Web3, and I'm making it like really short. Web3 is the next generation of the internet. We have Web2, we have Web1. Web1 is basically like the static internet, mostly read only. Web2 is where you mostly are, where you get to interact. You can, for instance, how you can chat on X, everybody can see you, you can respond, you read and write. Web3 is where everyone has ownership, everyone has equal, there's no governance, there's no those challenges and limitations you find in Web2, where either you are being blocked by government or you are being blocked by probably the creators of the project or company. So there's no any of that in the Web3 ecosystem. So the key characteristics of Web3 is it is decentralized, putting emphasis of what I've just said, no central authority, nobody controls it. It is trustless. There's no any, you don't need to have to trust someone to commit to something, because everything is governed by smart contracts, and those are not humans. Then it is tokenized, economic incentives built into the network. There is always, it is incentivized. This is where you hear about play to earn, work to earn. Like there is always opportunity to earn in the Web3 space. Then we'll move over to what are dApps, decentralized applications. So decentralized application, I'm speaking so fast. Decentralized applications are more like the regular softwares applications you operate with, but in this case, why it's decentralized is because it's on the blockchain network. So instead of a centralized server, if I want to give an instance, we can talk about Facebook, X, any other regular products you are familiar with that is not a Web3 product is not a decentralized application. Most applications, if not all, are all decentralized application because they all operate on the blockchain. So for decentralized applications, smart contracts serve as the backbone of decentralized applications. It enables automation, decentralization, immutability, transparency, tokenization. So developers of dApps leverage smart contracts. I mentioned smart contracts earlier. They leverage smart contracts to create innovative, autonomous, and decentralized solutions that redefine traditional systems and processes across various industries and sectors. You find dApps you hear about DeFi, those are decentralized applications in the finance area. We have gaming decentralized application, we have social networking. You hear the recent trend on Farcaster, Webcast. We have decentralized application in the supply management. Example of these are like supply management. I'm not really solid on the right example I will use for decentralized application in this supply chain management, but you can research on this and find out more about it, because there's more utility in decentralized applications in Web3, and you can basically build anything. The only difference is it is now on chain. Then let's go to Web3 design principles. Web3 design principles, it's a no-brainer, let me put it that way. It's not the way you have it's normal design principles with a little more on the area of Web3 principles. Like everything that makes Web3, everything that makes blockchain, the interoperability, transparency, privacy, all of those things are what you're adding to the existing design principles you are all aware of. You design you all the rules and regulations, you design it, so you're designing a normal in your normal day to day, a normal application is the same thing you're doing with Web3. But in this case, the abstraction is on the higher side. You also need to factor in that there are a lot of challenges. We are going to get to that part later, I think after this. So the key things I highlighted here, these are not, it's not black and white. There you might find other persons saying Web3 design principles are differ from this, but they are not far from each other. You can design intuitively. You use active guidance, because there are a lot of technical jargons in Web3. So if you design intuitively and you use active guidance, it elevates your process when you're working as a Web3 designer. You also leverage existing mental models. This is the same thing I explained earlier. The same thing you do in Web 2, feedback, using social proof, using tooltips, all of those things. You leverage existing mental models. Leverage existing UX laws and principles. You know about Fitts law, Hicks law, aesthetic disability effect. All of those laws applies in Web3 as well. And then to design for Web3, you also need to factor in the fact that factor in the lowering barrier to entry for non-blockchain savvy users. So when you are building any dApp or designing any dApp, you need to consider, the user base of these products, are they going to have like um are they going to have users that have no or prior experience in the crypto space? You need to factor that in if that is the user base, if the application or that you are building accommodates them. Then you also need to use clear directions, two tips when necessary, and less jargon. You hear a lot of Web3 has jargons and technical jargons a lot when people are talking about Web3. But it's your duty as a designer to use less jargon and give two tips every time when it is necessary. Then clarify actions, because we know that in Web3 you own everything. There's nobody controlling anything for you. You have to like clarify actions that are irreversible. If you know that a certain touch point that a user is supposed to interact with, if they take that action, they can't undo it. You need to create a clear UX for them, explaining to them what they are about to do and how fatal it will be if they make mistakes. So you need to like design, clarify those actions while they are going through the flows. So example is actions that involve money and data provenness. Basically, speaking to transparency. Then what are the challenges for designing dApps? You find the most common challenges are complex user onboarding, which so much work has been done now that we onboard more users into the Web3 ecosystem more easily now compared to before. The need for blockchain knowledge can deter new users. This is right, because people are always scared. You find out that people are still scared to leverage Web3 and or join Web3, and that's because if you don't know some things in, or maybe you try to perform a trade and you don't know anything on that, you're probably going to get burned, because you can lose money. You don't have prior knowledge of what you're going to do. So that mindset kind of makes users step back into coming into Web3. So the challenges are around that. You need to, when you're designing, you need to put that into consideration. Then lack of scalability. There, there is significant growth, you will still find out that network congestion, slow transactions still happen on the blockchain. Security concerns. While I mentioned that smart contracts are the one handling these transactions and things, so there's no any central control. It's also another human that created that smart contract, so there might be errors, mistakes, so smart contract vulnerabilities. So always have all of this at the back of your mind when you're designing decentralized applications. Then we have fragmented UX. While there are significant breakthroughs already, integrating wallets and finding and fixing edge cases in dApps still remain challenging. You agree with me that If for instance, it's not everyone that will just wake up one morning and decide to go and trade, even in normal Web2 setting. It's not everybody, and it's not everybody that just wake up and decide to go and do that. But if, for instance, with the opportunity in trading where people can earn money on the side while doing what they are doing, if everybody is aware of the know-how and the experience is such that you can't you very much know what you are doing, it is easy for you to get into things and get into things and enjoy them with every other person. So finding and fixing edge cases in the centralized applications that you are building are still like very paramount, because you build if when you start designing for Web3, you are going to meet a lot of things that are really really technical that if you are not experiencing them yourself, you will find it hard to understand. So these are like some of the challenges in designing decentralized applications. I have a case study. Judith, is it possible for the attendees to scan this QR code?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yes.
Since they can see your screen, they can scan it as well.
Okay, so let's all scan this QR code. We are going to I'm going to explain more into that. Um, I'm going to explain more into the challenges of designing that. So in this case study, you find a tweet on how badly designed UX can cost a company or an individual. I think I have the tab open here. This should be it. So this tweet is basically how I think this happened in 2022 when someone tried to when someone when a platform got let me say, made a user lose a large sum of money, and it's because of the design. If you look at this UI, there is approve, there's approve elements, there is a check elements, there is the name of the app. So this the hacker basically designed exactly what this is. The way this is done, the approve, the check here confirms that or validates that this NFT is valid. So what the hacker did is he basically just got designed something similar with the right NFTs and put that check mark. So people that are purchasing it thought it's legit, and they there's no way for them to find the asset or look at the smart contracts and making it all these things to verify the asset. And they made that purchase and they lost. I think how much did they lose? Around for $500, I think. But the point here is bad UX can be very, very costly. So imagine if the designer had put that check mark somewhere that cannot easily be tampered with, or if someone uploads the same image, they can easily, like, if nobody is telling you, you can easily tell that, okay, you there's no way for you to tell that these board ape NFTs are not valid, because the key things the QE swap platform are using to validate is the check mark. So, and this scammer basically uploaded the NFT with the check mark. So anybody that is purchasing it would think that they are purchasing the right thing and lose money in that case. Then I have another example. Another example here. This one happened recently. This person still boiling to like doing creating really intuitive UX. So this person went to do P2P trade on Bybit, and I think the money got released to the other person at the other end, the person that is giving him the naira amount, while his crypto or her crypto got released to that person, and he or herself did not get the money. and look at the conversation in their chats. Have you paid? The person said no, but the person went to click yes in the transaction. And when you click, since it's smart contract that is operating, the moment the two of you, the two parties validate that, oh, you received the payment, the transaction will go through. But in this case now, look at the customer support. They are the customer support is reporting that she has successfully released the USDT and she didn't do any of that, or the person, I don't know whether it's a he or she, but the person did not do any of that and the money got released. So these are like some of the challenges that bad UX can really cost people if you design without considering all of these things. Then we're going to go into the opportunities in designing the apps. You when you're designing decentralized applications, the basics, like just the design principles, like those basic things you already are aware of, that knowledge you already have, you bring it to use here as well. You create user friendly applications, focus on designing intuitive, accessible interfaces. When I mean intuitive, because of the complexities Web3 brings about, intuitive here means that you are going to give clear directions. You are going to really emphasize what needs to be emphasized. You are going to if it's something that requires education, you are going to do that. And there is one thing about over education too that also deter users. So you need to find that right balance where you're going to design intuitive and accessible interface. Then build more on-chain utility, work on applications that bring more on-chain utilities. Like the way I mentioned supply chain, I have no idea what applications are built in that area, but there are many. There is no limitation to the kind of applications that will be built on chain. So look at opportunities that will allow you to design those spaces: finance, education, trade, all of those things. Leverage decentralized finance. So many different applications are built these days. So when you are designing, the opportunity for you as a designer is to help democratize access. Help democratize access means that bring it to the people. It shouldn't be only crypto savvy users that use that use Web3 application, that use dApps. When you are designing, you have the opportunity to design it such that anybody from anywhere can be able to use the application. Then also as design, you have the opportunity to leverage on NFTs and metaverse, like explore design opportunities in virtual assets and digital world. This is not compulsory, but it's nice to have if you can do that. I also design PFPs when I have the time. So these are like the opportunities in designing the apps. Then I have a quick guide to for anyone that is just starting out and you are clueless on how to go about designing decentralized application or where to start or what to do. This is a quick guide. The easiest way to learn is to leverage on what's already existing and the free resources that are available to you. So do a thorough audit on what's already existing. Look at Uniswap, Bybit, all of these applications. The best way to learn Web3 design is to actually use those applications, because when you come to design for them and you have not used them, there's no way for you to be in that user's shoes. And if you want to design a good experience, an exceptional experience, you agree with me that you need to be in that user's shoe. So determine the complexities and create user flows to help guide the project. So whenever I'm starting a new project, I always try to articulate step by step what the user journey is, so that when I'm designing, I'm not going to hit a roadblock, because I've already accessed that while designing the flows. I've already seen, okay, this is what's going to happen when the user click on this, or if there's this button is not there, this is what's going to happen. So try to articulate the whole project with using user flows. Then agree on a design direction. If you are working in a team, agree on a design direction, then work towards that. Anticipate the problem a user is going to face on the dApp and provide possible solutions for them. This speaks to the edge cases that you might not necessarily see in the direct flows you've created. Something that maybe it's going to happen 1 out of 10. It's not like something that happens regularly. So you need to factor that in, because if that is not factored in, it also can be costly to either the business or the user. So incorporate all Web3 design principles, as I've mentioned here, designing intuitive UI, giving clear directions, useless Web3 jargons, and all of that. Then provide, okay, this is explaining more. Provide clear directions, actionable guides, useless jargon. I've said that before. Show, don't tell, avoid over explaining technicalities. I think uh, last 2 years, when you look at, if you have looked at MetaMask before, you realize that they over explain things, even though the UX was, the UI and UX was like really not there, but they still try to over explain things, and that kind of turning off the experience for users. So when you are explaining technical things, you need to also like factor in, have a balance on how you do it, and make it probably you can even do it maybe like step by step, rather than putting everything one long document for them to read. Use pointers, animation, tooltips, transactions, and waiting time, status updates. Like use pointers, animation, and tooltips. For instance, when you're doing transaction waiting time UI, instead of just telling them that the transaction is going to happen, you can take an extra step, probably put something looping to give that user the illusion of waiting, because if there is nothing happening there, it makes the wait time feels longer. So give that illusion. If you can do more, give like an estimate of how long it's going to take. Give status updates at intervals. Then reduce the cost of errors, in especially on transaction initiation. Then give recurring reminders on safekeeping private keys and seed phrases. Use segregation as an advantage. Features for basic users and advanced users if it is necessary. What is gas fee? This is basically like saying explain each of these things. Explain, oh, you are they are trying to complete a transaction, and probably that person is meeting that coming to that UI for the first time. You don't know their knowledge level in Web3, and there is gas fee in the transaction summary. You should be able to explain what that is through tooltip or any pointer you want to use. I mean, as an expert that you are. Then I have a demo here, design and off-ramp. How might a designer approach designing off-ramp solution? Um, if we put together everything we've learned, the quick guide, the principles, the challenges, how might you approach designing an off-ramp solution? Just want to do a quick confirmation because I'm sharing my whole screen. Judith, are we following?
Yes, we are.
All right. Thank you
Yes,
for that feedback.
we're still live.
So, when you hear off-ramp simply means trying to change your crypto to your to fiat, your local currency. It could be Kenyan shilling, Ghanaian cedis, naira, and you want to convert crypto to that crypto, any crypto at all. So how might you approach designing for that? There are many factors when you want to design off ramp. There are the key things that you need to do is look at from the approach I've shared earlier, quick guide to designing. Do a thorough audit on what's already existing. You're going to have to now like search or do a research what off-ramp solutions are currently existing. Look at how it's done. From my understanding, there are off-ramp applications. There are P2P trade in custodial wallets like Binance, Bybit. You're going to see P2P option. Even I think Nigerian is no longer able to do P2P for Binance and also OKX exchange, and I don't know about Bybit. So look, you will realize that okay, access is limited for Nigerians or Africans basically to bring their money back to them, like to convert their money to fiat. So you are going to see that, as you're going to take note of all of these things, like the challenge of access for Africans or Nigerians, the utility, are they able to use the existing off-ramp solution? If they are using it, what challenges are they currently facing using those off-ramping tools? So those are like the high level questions that you can try to find out if you want to design any decentralized application. What's currently existing in that space that is solving this problem? What's How are the persons that are using, the users of this thing, how are they reacting to it? Are they happy? What's their journey like? What's the end-to-end flow like? Are they Is there any do they have are they hitting dead end anywhere? What's the drop off rates? Where do they drop off? All of these things, do a thorough audit on it. Then that would give you opportunity to see better ways that you can design for such solution, and also give you an edge case over other applications competitors, because those applications that you've looked at might be competitors now. So I have a demo of existing off ramp. I don't know if we are familiar with onboard wallets. They have a P2P exchange there. You can look at it and see what it looks like. They have onboard direct. They have P2P. P2P basically mean you selling and selling to somebody else, to like trade by barter, the way we had in the olden days. Then we have Zap by Paycrest. So to design the current way people are designing off-ramp solutions, I thought we have Aboki too, where you can just send a WhatsApp message to somebody to help you convert your crypto, and you're going to you send the crypto to their wallet, and they basically send you naira back. Then we have P2P. Those are like the major ways people off-ramp. But the key things you consider while you're designing is you want to know that, okay, this solution you're designing, was this how much do they support, how many what networks do they support? Is it limited to just a specific network, or can people access it on different networks? Because if it's just on one network, you need to figure out how to bridge your money from the existing network that you are on to the other network. So those are like challenges to design for an operand. So you look at the network supported. If there are no multiple networks supported, is there going to be a bridging solution for them? Then you also look at speed of transactions. Speed of transaction is usually connected to the network supported. Networks like Base are really fast and cheap. Then trust. If you recall earlier, I shared a demo of what happened with someone using Bybit. Do people trust this platform? Can they can is Are you safe from smart contract vulnerability? If you are safe from control issues, are you safe from other aspects of challenges that pose that come about in the centralized ecosystem? Then the rate, you also need to factor in, okay, what rate is the money being exchanged for me? What payment methods are available to me? And the accessibility, is it accessible to my location? Is there anything like, oh, there's restriction, you can't access Binance P2P because there's no Naira there? All of those things, you need to factor that into design and off-ramp. I have a solution here that solves it. I was part of the team that designed this Zap by Paycrest. So we made provision for mobile money transfer and bank transfer. Like, what other payments option method are available? How is now you can just send crypto, and the other person at the other end that you're sending the crypto would receive Naira or any of your currency of choice, Kenyan shilling, Ghanaian cedi, all of that. But you send crypto, and there is just like doing normal transfer, and the transaction speed is more like I think less than 15 seconds. So when you're designing an off-ramp solution, you need to factor in these are the key things you need to factor in, and look for a way to design in a way that it's going to be scalable, transparent, all those components that makes Web3. Then I have further learning. As I've mentioned earlier, the best way to learn um, designing for dApps, the best way to learn is actually using the dApps. There are some things that you will not be able to figure out unless you design them, no matter how much research, how much surveys, how much looking for feedback or asking questions you do. You have to just experience those things yourself to feel it, feel the pain and whatever users go through whenever they are using those applications. And when you're designing, keep in mind when you're designing a decentralized application, always look for opportunity to include everyone in that design. Design for everybody. I know there are, you'll be like, there are um, their user base, their target users, and all of that. While the target users are there, include everyone in the cycle of the target users. We have deaf people, we have blind people. We are make it accessible as possible. Then after that level is catered to, also cater to the level where we have people that are crypto savvy and people that are not crypto savvy. So include everyone. But there are opportunities to really design simpler experiences for people that are not crypto savvy. Right now, currently, we have applications that you don't need, you because of those applications, you don't need to have Web3 knowledge before you can onboard to them. You can use your normal Google sign in and they'll be able to sign in and a wallet will be assigned to them. So see how you can leverage these tools to build more inclusive experiences for people. Then for another example I wanted to give is how Uniswap is trying to do that. Uniswap is basically trying to include everyone in this solution. Right now, you are not going to see any crypto. Before, you are going to see Connect wallets on a normal Web3 application that does swap. You are going to see Connect wallets. You are going to see swap, or for instance. But now, we don't. We only see sign in, sign up, get started. Where is the former Connect wallet and all of those Web3 terms? This is to tell you that to build better solutions and to get you to that growth, or get you users, get you money as a product, you need to include most and everyone in the solution you are building. And I think that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Okay, wow. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Fatima. I learned a lot, a whole lot. My notes is full. So, this is just a quick reminder for those that are just joining us. Um, okay, someone is asking if they can have the QR code again, so they'll be able to scan it and view the
Okay.
case study. Okay, all right then. So for those that are just joining us, thank you so much and you're welcome again. This is just a quick reminder for, if you've not subscribed yet to the Web3 Ladies Community channel here on YouTube, kindly do so. And also do well to like and share this video as well. So, because of the time, right, I have some questions that I would like to ask. The ladies there at the club, they've been excited and they also sent in some questions that they would love to ask you, Fatima. Okay, so let me just ask. Okay, so someone is asking that, most let me assume that most listeners we have right now are beginning when it comes to Web3 design. So they are beginners, most of them. So what would you advise is the best approach, right, to learn, like someone transitioning from the Web2 UI UX career path to the Web3 design career path? So what approach would you advise such person to follow?
Okay, that's a very good question. I think I'll give you a highlight of how I transitioned to Web3 design. I joined Web3 out of curiosity. I'm seeing a lot of buzz, like everybody is talking about it. I think in 2022, and I'm like, what's this all about? And what did I do? I joined communities like Web3 Ladies, Designers DAO, Web3 Africa. I think there is one other more that is very prominent. Those communities, join those communities. If you're just getting started, join the community. Then after you've joined the communities, the next step is to try and use applications, web decentralized applications. Just try and audit existing application. I think the first thing I did when I joined was I reviewed MetaMask onboarding experience. If I still remember, I think I have it on Medium. So do as they are already there are already tasks that people have done in order to learn Web3. And for you to learn, you have to learn by doing. If you're not doing anything, just reading, you're just going to end up having information, but you're not able to practice the information, or you're not able to articulate your learnings. You learn by actually practicing and trying to solve real problems. So I think I'm trying to locate what I did. So this is what I first did. So imagining the onboarding experience of MetaMask Wallet. Look at this. Try to identify the issues with existing applications. Look at Uniswap. How is it good? How is it bad? What are people complaining about? What issues are they currently having? Where are they dropping off? All of these things. Try to look at popular applications that people use, and the number one I use is basically MetaMask wallet. Then when you've done that, you've joined communities, you are looking at existing application and reviewing how um, it is different from normal Web2 applications that you are used to. There is always wallet connection. There is always incentive involved. There is always community involved. All of these basic things that support the key principles: transparency, privacy, interoperability. All of these things. Look for how those things are being expressed in these existing applications. Then try to see the issues that people are currently having. Identify those issues. If you're able to identify the issues, definitely you use your design expertise to try to figure out how to best solve it. It is not black and white for everyone. There's always a path. The way you think about solving a problem might be different from the way I'm thinking about solving a problem. So when you've done this, also you need to articulate your learnings. Anything you've learned, try to write it, try to put it out somewhere, or share it in these communities that you're part of. Let someone give you feedback. Okay, this is where you did this wrong. You this is you're not doing this right. Like, it helps you get feedback. Feedback is a big deal when you want to grow. So every solution that you try to work on, share it with the target. Maybe I think while we're doing the work we're doing at I was doing design relations for Designers DAO. Some of the guys that did all of these tasks, some of them got really big jobs through these tasks. I think I can't remember the exact company or projects that got someone, like a team member from the, I think the founder of the project reached out to that person because of the way the person articulated the issues and how they think about addressing these issues they've identified in those problems. So you learn by actually doing and attempting to solve problems, and you learn by using. So use this application. You don't necessarily need to actually commit money to use this application, or to get full experiences into using those applications. For MetaMask Wallet, you can go through your body, like the level of access you have, utilize it, and when opportunity presents itself for you to do more in that aspect, you'll be able to do that because you have like the basic knowledge. Then also there are a lot of resources. You I think YouTube channel that I watched back to back that time. It has everything about all the key terms you hear in Web3, all the staking, proof of stake, all those things, market making, all of those terms. Learn, like, try to get yourself familiar with those terms by watching all these probably YouTube and the resources that are made available to you in the community. So leverage on community. The biggest part is community and trying to review or audit existing applications. I don't know if that answers the question, Judith.
Yes, yes, actually. You also answered another question I was about to ask. Yes, thank you so much for that. So the best way to learn is by doing it, is by working on and designing those dApps that you've been learning about as well and using them too. Yes. So I go with that. Then another question is okay, is the user experience for Web3 different from the user experience of Web 2? So I know that it's quite different, but let's hear what you have to say about that.
Okay. User experience is user experience when it comes to user experience because it's humans that are using this experience. So the same
Yes.
human using the experience in Web 2 are the same humans using the experience in Web 3. So the only way it differs is it's on the blockchain, and blockchain has certain complexities that come with it, and you need to factor those complexities in when you are designing a solution. But the same knowledge you have of Web 2, like the same way you want to make life easy for a user in Web 2, is the same way you want to make life easy for a user in Web 3. Just because it's Web 3 doesn't mean you shouldn't cater to designing intuitively. You shouldn't cater to using the right US copies that will get those users to where they want to be, or using the right elements in your design just because it's Web3. I don't know if that answers that question. Does it?
Yes, sure. Sure, you did justice to that. Okay, so now talking about the information architecture now of these dApps, right? So I know that one way as designers, for us to get ourselves familiar with it, just like what you mentioned, is to use these dApps as much as possible, right? So, but now for you now, when designing a dApp or an interface like that, how do you know the information architecture or user flow for these products aside from using these dApps?
Okay, so if anybody is communicating a DApp idea to you, that person has 50% or 99% of the knowledge of the application it's communicating to you. And they always have like a big picture of how it's going to work. How do you articulate it? The same way you articulate Web 2, designing for Web 2 solution. This, you need to look at what in real life, what's the user journey in accessing every touch point in that decentralized application you want to do. What's the real life user journey? Then translate that user journey into the decentralized application you want to do, and that will help you build out the structure, user flow, or information architecture you want to design for or use for your design.
Okay, all right. Thank you so
You
much
don't need
for
to
that
leverage on
answer.
all your you need to
Okay.
like just leverage on all your existing mental model. The same way you solve a problem in the Web2 ecosystem, the same way you solve an e-commerce problem, how you want to approach designing an e-commerce website, or how you want to approach designing a social media platform in Web2. You would, is the same human being that are behind using it. So the thing you need to the only thing you need to like keep in mind is those characteristics that make Web3 application decentralized application. Once you're done with that, everything else comes to you the same way it comes to you in any other settings, Web2 and everyday applications. Even like basically applications like normal applications, even applications that are not digital applications, like your day-to-day, maybe your a door, how you open your door, like what is that user's journey to accessing that door. For instance, if I'm using a door, a broom, what is the user journey of
Yes.
accessing a broom and using it to sweep? You can use that to inform the information architecture of any decentralized application you want to build.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fatima. Okay, so because of the time, I'll pause for now concerning the questions. But for those that are listening, if you have questions, you can still type it below, right, in the comment section. And even after this live stream, we're going to try as much as possible to answer the questions that you might have. So, and yes, I learned so much. So I just want to bring out three key things I learned, right, from today's workshop. The first thing is the UX matters. Yeah, so a bad UX can be costly. So it can be detrimental and costly to the company, to the users as well, just like the example you cited. So it's good that as designers, we follow the design principles and make sure that whatever we are designing, our users can easily use it. So that brings me to the second point. It has to be intuitive, accessible, and we also have to democratize it as well. Yes.
I love how you're using the words directly. Very good.
Yes, democratize. Oh, that's awesome. So, and again, don't forget that the best way to learn, you know, um, design to learn Web3 design is to use these dApps. Use them, even as you study, even as you get yourself familiar with the terminologies and everything about Web3. Make sure that you also use these products as well, these dApps, so that when designing, you would also it will inform your design decisions better as well. Okay, so we've come to the end of this workshop. I want to say a very big thank you to Fatima. um Please, if you want to join us, we are always open to everyone that is interested in joining the Web3 Ladies community. So the link to our Discord server has been attached right here in the description of this video. You can click on this link and to take it to our Discord server. And also, if you want to join the design club, the link is there as well. And if you'd like to connect with Fatima, we've also attached her LinkedIn profile too. Yes. So thank you so much, Fatima. So any advice? Do you have any advice you'd like to give designers or everyone listening today?
Um, Designers, yes, everyone. Well, it's applicable to everyone. In anything you want to do, you want to put in the effort. So, as a beginner, it always feels overwhelming at the beginning, and you're feeling like you're not getting those opportunities. You're not
Yeah.
accessing money the way every other person is like talking about on Twitter and all of that. Don't feel bad about it, or don't feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to be doing. The best way is for you to actually put yourself out there. Anything you're working on, share it. I know I'm not the best person to use as reference when we talk about sharing your work, but when I also got started, I shared my work a lot. So the best way to put yourself out there and to position yourself for success in the field is to put yourself out there, talk about the things you're doing. If you have a case study you worked on, try to share it in these communities you're part of. Join communities, like try and join as many communities as possible and network. The more people you know, the better access you have to opportunities. And thanks so
Yeah.
much for having me. I hope I was able to impact some knowledge on you regarding designing decentralized applications.
Yes, you were
How is
able
that?
to.
Can you give a roadmap for a total beginner of VIS and in Web3? I can share a
Okay.
resource with Judith later. And if you are in the design Web3 ladies communities, I think you should be able to get access to it, right, Judith?
Yes, sure. Definitely.
All right, thanks so much
Yes,
for having
definitely.
me. I really enjoyed the session, and I hope you all did as well.
Yes, likewise. Thank you so much, Fatima, and thank you everyone for listening. Just like what I said, endeavor to subscribe if you've not, so that you get notifications for upcoming workshops as well. So thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.